Hello and welcome to PME's Facebook Live event for May. It's gone round very quick. Welcome for joining us from wherever you are in the world. So whether that's in the US, where our sister company is, or whether you're here in the UK, South Africa, where Gem is, or our Pan-Pacific hub, welcome. Or maybe just Europe or anywhere. It's really great to have you with us today, whether that's live or you're going to be watching a little bit later after the show. So we've got upstairs, obviously we've got Samir, who's with Olivia today, and they're going to be looking out for all that love you're going to be sending us hopefully today, and passing that information on down here to Pat. And Pat's got the usual board so that she can feed some information on to us, and also she's going to be helping read out all of your shout outs basically. There she goes, she's just held the board out at the appropriate moment in time as I forgot what a shout out was, and away we go already. We've got Peter who's grinning away at the moment recording, and just behind him we've got Carmen as well, so she's here to help too. And also we've got Pauline, she's going to be helping manoeuvre things around and bringing the different demonstrations in as we start to demonstrate, which will be me, and I'm Paula McLeod, and I'll be taking you through what we hope is some really exciting little demonstrations for you. This time it is all about the little people and young ones, so whether that's kind of pre their arrival with a baby shower, or once they're here, so for little babies and tots, etc. Some really good ideas from cupcakes through to wonderful ice creams at the end. So we really hope you're going to enjoy some of the very modern and fresh and trendy ideas that we've got to share with you today. So then, without further ado, if we head this way, I'm going to go slowly. Very slowly, because Peter always moans that I rush too much and he can't keep up with me. And he says, 1 minute I'm here and the next I've gone. So was that all right for you, Peter?
That's perfect.
Oh, there we go then. So I'll have to maintain this now. Okay, so to start with, I'm just going to ask Pauline if she wants to bring me in one of these little cups that we're going to be showing you. You've heard about kind of baking in a mug with a recipe, obviously, which is something that we tend to do these days. But we also do a little bit of cheating every now and then because we don't all want to have to do some baking. So you might have some cupcakes around. And what we found is, that's lovely. Thanks ever so much, Pauline. And if she wants to get any of the others, that's fine, because then Peter can have a little look at what we're going to be working on as well. And at least you'll get to see properly. Is that okay there for you, Peter? Jolly good. So we've got actually 3 little cupcakes in here. Just up to the top, it fitted absolutely perfectly, and we've got a nice kind of really bright colourful little mug there as well, so again you can make it really interesting for all the little people that might be around. And it's a bit different. If you don't want the hassle of doing a whole full cake, you can then opt for something like this that's individual. You can do the right amount per person, so it works really, really well. So we're going to be looking at doing a little rainbow, very easy to do, and I've got some things pre-cut out, and I'm also going to show you how easy it is to use one of these fantastic little poppets, and this one is one of our new poppets, so that's a rainbow with clouds, which is absolutely adorable. So hopefully Gem in South Africa are tuning in as well, and they're like, yay, poppets. So, and we've already got a shout out, so while we're doing some shout outs, I'm just going to level off this, add some buttercream in, and then we can start adding some bits and pieces in and away, because we've got a lot to get through today, haven't we?
We have indeed, and there are so many people with us already.
Oh
so,
wow, hello.
So I'm not going to do all these shout outs in one go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we start with Kelly. She says good morning from Brighton, Ontario, Canada.
Oh, that fooled me. I was thinking that was UK.
And then Nancy says Olaf from Peru.
Oh, lovely.
And Deborah Hayes, she kind of gives you a wave.
Wave back.
And Betty Lemers says hello from the Netherlands.
Oh, that's great.
And at this point in time, wow, I'll just end with Leslie Worcester, who says hello there, and she sends you a lovely little lady in a chef's hat.
Oh, isn't that really nice? Thank you, everybody. So hopefully you'll kind of like what we're going to be sharing with today. So I've just prepared that with some buttercream. I've sliced the top off there. Now, just to get the effect so that you're kind of coating and covering the top and sealing that cake, all I've done, I cut out already in gum paste some nice designs. So I kind of went something that's a bit fun. So cookie cutter, kind of floral design there for the underneath. And then just a circle cut on the top, so you can pick whatever colour, and I've just glued one on top of the other. So that actually gives me a really nice disc that's ready to just attach onto the top in a second. So it's nice and simple. I used gum paste, which you obviously can do, or modelling paste, something like that, but just something so that it can dry out before you place it on there, because you don't want it wilting over the edges or the sides. So I'm just going to show you how to do the little rainbow, and then I'm going to complete the one that we've got here as well. And Peter's got that one up there. So here we go, just some gum paste into here. There we are. Not too much there already. There we go. So just give it a little knead, make sure it's okay. But these are really easy to use. They've got a little handle in the back, as you can see, and it just sits into that poppet pad. If I give that a little flick, you can see that is part of the pad. So don't throw that away when you open them up, just to keep that, just prevents that pad from getting damaged when you're using it. Just gives it a little bit of stability as well, so that's all good. So I've rolled out my paste, not thinly, but nice and deep, so you're going to get the emboss from the actual little rainbow, and you want to keep any kind of nasty bits just uppermost. Place it over the top, there we go, and just roll away, as my pens decide to roll away as well. From the middle across, and then from the middle across the other way as well. And then you just pull away the excess. Use your scriber, I'm going to give that a little push just to tidy that up as we go, and take that out. You're seeing all okay, Peter? You got everything you need? Good. That's really good then. I like to give it a little push sometimes, just to make sure that I've got a really good design on there. You don't have to, it's just a habit. You don't need to at all though. Lift one side and then you can lift the other side as well, and that gives you this lovely little rainbow. So mine has dried out over here, and then it really is just a case of finishing it off so that it's coloured. Now you could paint it if you want to, or you could use your pens, and I've been using some pens on here. I've gone over it a couple of times because I wanted a really nice intense colour on the paste there, and I've got all of my colours lined up over here, and I still go with Richard of York gave battle in vain, all of that type of thing. So I've got my colours on, and I'm just going to put my kind of like violet on last. So that's that one going in there. Just scribble into there. But you can see now it's nice and dry. It really is very, very easy just to be able to kind of colour those up. So there's all my colours along there that I've blended. I've got it pre-done because you don't want to watch me colouring in. Oh, there's a shout out. Pat's thinking she's never going to notice me. Go for it, Pat. While Pat's doing that, I'm just going to glue that on there and then look at doing some buttons as well.
Okay.
This is a bit of dust as well.
Oh, a bit of dust as well, sorry. This is the second half of the collection that came in earlier.
Oh, okay, loads
so there was a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people out there watching today.
That's good. Well, hopefully they'll like what they're
seeing. So I've got a lot of hellos. I'm not quite sure where they are in the world.
Okay.
So just big hellos. But we do start off in Cape Town, South Africa.
Great.
With Neril Johnson.
Lovely. What, South Africa then as well? That's
and
good.
Then after that, Eileen says hello. Maria says hello. Lindsay says hello. Another Maria Rita says ciao. So I guess that sounds a bit Italian.
It does.
And then Sophie also says hello. So I'm not quite sure where they all are around the world, but it's lovely. That is
great. Yeah, that's fantastic. We're very lucky to have everybody kind of tuned in and watching, which is brilliant. Now I'm just going to stick these buttons on now so that you can kind of see that they're going on. So you can have one button or you can have a series of all the buttons going on. So I'm just going to leave it with the one to be a bit different and just bring out this little button poppet so you can see. So there you go, I've kind of pre-rolled out. So what you kind of do, you roll over the top just the same way that we did with our poppet there. And where you've got your little button areas, you don't have to tidy that up, but if you do want to have your little holes in there, just clear it with your ball tool. There you go. And then you've got all your different sizes of buttons. Now this is the small size. Bring in your scriber and then just lift out your button. And hey presto, you've got your lovely little button all rearing to go and ready. So all your different colours, and however many you want, and then you can place these on your little little cup. I'm going to use a bit of piping gel because some of these are dry now, just so that they can stick on appropriately. A little bit of a yellow, and I think that's probably going to do us. That's job done, and then that's ready to go onto our cup. So it's buttercream, it hasn't dried out, so that should just sit on well. And always that nice dried disc gives us our little finished cup to go with our other series. So Pauline's going to take those away for me now, and then we're going to kind of be moving on over to this way. And if there's any more shout outs, I can just see Pat levering up the board there, because as Pauline's taking those away, she's going to bring in Daisy the cow next as well for us, and Pat's just coming over. So while Pat's coming over, I'm just going to get organised for Daisy the cow. For Daisy the cow.
I have so many shout outs today. I've actually told Samir to kind of
hold back.
Yes, yeah, because it's just going crazy out there.
It's chaos here.
So I'll just go through a few of them, and we'll try to get in as many as we can.
Lovely.
So we start with Bernice, who says she loves your baking programme, and she's from Harrismith, again in South Africa.
Oh, wow. Hello.
And T. Simpson says hello. And then I've got Packen. How do I say that, Peter?
Have a look.
You've no... I'm sorry. Hello. And Baba says hi, and that's from Port Elizabeth in South Africa.
Oh, lovely.
And May also says hello. I do apologise if I don't pronounce the names correctly. I'm doing my best.
That's all you can ever do, Pat, is your best.
But I've got so many shout-outs.
Oh, that's really good. Well, we're so happy that you're kind of tuning in, and obviously there's something here that you really need to see or want to see. So hopefully you'll kind of have lots of different ideas that you can then use at your different celebrations for all of those little ones, whether they're on the way or already here. So what I've done is I've got my cupcake, and I've just put a little kind of mound of sugar paste on there, and I've just smoothed it out a little bit. Now I've done that because I wanted a little bit more of a roundness to my cupcake. So if you've baked your cupcakes and they're lovely and round, then you don't need to do this section at all. And that's what we're going to be doing, is a little daisy that's sitting there. So she's a happy little cow, and she's black and white, and she's very happy to be here with us. Peter's grinning away as if, oh dear, she's lost the plot. Has been known. Oh dear. We've got some mad people here as well that are trying to make some cow sounds right now too. So I'm just rolling that out just a little bit at the moment, and then I'm going to bring in some black paste as well. This is just ordinary sugar paste that I'm using at the moment, and I'm just going to be grabbing just a little bit, which I'm then going to roll in to get this kind of mottly effect that's on there. There we go. And this is the same effect that we've used on that little giraffe that's up there as well. So Peter can show you that a little bit later on, or Pauline can go and grab it. She's poised and ready. Bless her, she's kind of keen to go and get the giraffe so that you can all see the giraffe. So here comes the giraffe, so you can have a little look. Here we go. Super duper, there's the little giraffe, here he is. We haven't got a name for him, but you can see just the motley effect that we've done there. So I'm just rolling the black in, just to kind of give us that nice kind of patchwork look of the cow. There we go. Not too thin with it, you want a nice coating so it drops over your cupcake nicely. A little bit of icing sugar just underneath. Oh, you can tell the aircon's on, it's just blowing the icing sugar everywhere. There we go. And this is the size circle cutter that I've used for all of the cupcakes, so it's just the round one. So basically choose your cutter to fit your cupcake size, because sometimes they're small, sometimes they're large. And then just decide where you want it, and then cut out. There we go. And leave that to one side. I'm going to flip it over because I just like to tidy up that section around the outside edge. And then I'm just going to put my glue onto here so that I know it's going to be not making a mess where I don't want it to be making a mess. So I'm just going to coat that round. There we go. You all right there, Peter, as well?
I'm good, thank you.
Oh, jolly good. Jolly good. That's always handy to know. You can see everything all okay too. So into the middle, and then just flip it up, and then just push that over to the edge, and that will give you a nice coating all the way round. So you can see that's the start of our little cow. Give it a smooth, so that you're ready to go. There we go. And then we're kind of moving on to the next little bit. There she is. So we've got some eyes ready as well. I'm just going to pop this into the bag for now, and if I can do, I'll recycle a little bit of it in a minute, although I might not do. So these little eyes here are what we're going to be doing, and I've got the paste already rolled out to go. Just going to move over there a little bit. So I thought if I pre-roll this out, it'll save us a little bit of time. There we go. So we've got some black, this is gum paste again, and we've got some white as well. And the red is for a little bit later on, so we'll just keep that covered over there. Spreading out here too. So little round plungers that we're using, and a little bit of icing sugar again. Oh, didn't get blown away that time, so that's handy. So we're going to use the large size just to cut those out. I'm only going to show you one because we've got a set there, and I don't need to be kind of doing just cutting out circles all the time. And then the next size down, just so that that's going to sit neatly in there as well. We're going to use that again in a second, and a little bit of glue just to hold those in place, like so. Into the middle I've gone, and then just with the end of the brush, just push into there. That gives you just a little area where you can add the little pupil. So just take a little bit of your gum paste, roll that into a ball, and then that can drop in position. There we go, give it a little squash, and there we go. So that's your little eyes all ready to go. So I'm going to use these ones over here because I did those together, so I know that the size of the little pupil will work, and I haven't got one large and one small. And then just kind of decide where we want it to go. We'll put the eyes there. A little bit of glue just to hold that in position. There we go. Already looking quite cute, I think. There we go. Okay. So I'm also at this point, I'm just going to cut out that little daisy so that it's done and dusted while my paste is okay and before it goes dried out. So just a little daisy plunger. So pick your size, it can be any size that you want. Give it a little wiggle, make sure you've got a bit of paste underneath there, and give it a little clean if you want to. If you're a bit unsure, and just give it a little pop out. And I shall put this away underneath there too. Into the middle of that, I'm just going to drop a little tiny bit of gum paste just to finish it off. A little bit of yellow, which has actually gone a little bit sticky sitting in the bag there. Just a little pinch, don't need very much at all. Now the other thing that we're going to look at doing is the little nose section or mouth, and that's actually using a button poppet again, and I've used a large size this time for that, and it actually makes a really good little mouth. So if you can kind of look at that, you can see it's actually a button, but it was really kind of appropriate for that kind of like cow feature, I thought anyway. So again, if you've got one of these, it's just a really good way of being able to kind of make sure that you've got the little mouth all done and dusted. You don't have to use all of the sizes. I'm only going to use this one here, which is the one that I need, so you can just use the amount that you need. So I'm just going to place that over the top and just roll over that section. Give it a push, you can just see. There we go, and come back again. There you go. I had my paste pre-rolled out, so it's probably a little bit too thick, but that's okay. As you roll backwards and forwards, you just get rid of that surplus. It all pushes away to the outside edge and it just cuts it away for you, which is what you need to do. There you go. And again, just give that a tidy up in the middle if that's what you need to do, like so. Just using the ball tool, and then grab your scriber and then just lift that straight out, and that's your little nose using the poppet. So just tidy up around the outside edge. There we go, and that's ready to stick on as well. Just decide which way round we're going to be. There we go. And I'm just going to add the flower while I'm here too. There we go, just to the side. I've got a little bit of black on my flower, but we'll rectify that in a bit. Okay, so now we're just going to add the ears as well, just to start to kind of pull that together. And all that I've done, if Peter can just see there, is use just a square cutter and then divided it into sections as well. So I might use up some of that leftover paste that I mentioned earlier as well. Oh, Pat's sitting there patiently with another shout out. Sorry, Pat. There we go.
It's all right, you're fine. It's
Okay.
just you were well into doing
Oh,
the
yeah.
little cow. So you okay for a moment,
Yeah,
or
no,
do you want
that's
me to
absolutely
wait?
great. No, you're fine. I'm just going to do the ears while you're doing that, if
Okay.
that's okay.
You carry on. These are still shout-outs from earlier that
Oh, my goodness.
that I'm still
Wow.
trying to get through.
Oh,
So,
great. Yes, you need to go for it then.
so first of all, Santa Bree says hello from Dublin. And then May Mendoza says hi from the Philippines.
Oh, lovely.
And says that she loves your creations. And Shoba D'Souza says hello, but I'm not quite sure where she's from. Octavia sends you a lovely wave.
Lovely. Lots
And-
of waves back.
And then two of our very special friends, Joseph says hello.
Oh,
And-
of course.
Peggy says hi, Paula and Pat.
Hello. Peggy and Joseph are our approved distributors, or one of our approved distributors in Pan Pacific, and religiously every single Facebook Live they tune in to say hello and be supportive. And we always give them a little shout out, obviously, because then their customers know where they are and where to find them too. So it works very well, doesn't it?
It does indeed. And one last one from this group, but I've still got
Yep.
more,
Oh my goodness.
is Rose Thomas says hi from Dubai.
Oh, wonderful.
So we're
That's a
travelling.
Nice, we are indeed, aren't we? That's always good. So I've just kind of cut across the square into diamonds, and I'm just kind of creating the ear and then just bending it, and I'm going to trim it a little bit. And I was just using up my leftover paste, so it's gone a little bit marbly, but I'm not too bothered about that. But you can kind of do more of a blotch if you want to, because I know we've got a lot to get through, so I don't want to spend too long just kind of redoing things that we don't need to redo. So just take that end off there. A little bit of glue again, and that's our little ears going on to Daisy the cow. So just to the side will probably do the job, and one each side. Open it out a little bit, stick one on for her there, and then the other one the other side. There she goes. Let's give it a little tweak. There we are, and then we're going to do some little horns for her as well. There she goes. So she's a work in progress, getting ready at the minute. Oh, Peter's getting right in close there to show you her. Right, a bit of black paste or a bit of gum paste will be fine. Either or, just to do the horns on her. I've got a little bit of dust just to add a little bit of blush onto her cheeks, which I think Peter's grinning because I think I can feel I'm getting quite hot even with the aircon on at the moment. So the attempt to put the aircon on early so that I don't go this peculiar red colour hasn't really worked, has it, Peter? No, I did try to explain it was never going to work, but there's no harm in trying. So there we go, just into a little ball and then into a little teardrop shape, and that gives you that little horn shape. There you go. Do the same the other side as well. There we are. Just make sure they're the same size together. So put them together and they should be about right. I'm just going to turn around and attach those for her. So where should they go? Probably somewhere in the middle there. So obviously you'll have more time to consider where the little horns should be going, whereas I'm just kind of popping these on quite quickly. There we go, one there and one probably the other side. Yep. And her horns are a little bit bigger than her friends. That's okay. They're individual. It's called character. There we go. Little bend. Just form them round. There she goes, so she's looking quite cute now. I'm just going to add a little bit of dust just to make her kind of have a little bit of colour on the cheeks, and then that's her pretty much where she needs to be. So just very lightly, a little bit, less is more as they say. There we go, just a little bit, there we go, a little bit dust over the flower if you want as well. That's her ready. There you go, so that's those two. Little ears coming off a little bit there where I've popped them on. So that's Daisy out the way and the giraffe out the way. So Pauline's back on again. So we're just going to leave that little cow there. I'm going to leave her to dry before tipping her up as well, just so that you kind of have a nice round bit as opposed to a flat bit underneath. So that's those coming out. And then we've got Larry the Lamb coming in, haven't we? That's wonderful. And Pat's got another shout out. So while Larry the Lamb comes in, we'll do some more shout outs to you. And it's lamb season, that's why we're doing Larry the Lamb.
Hold on, I'm trying to find them here,
Thank
Paula.
you. Oh, there's obviously loads still.
There are absolutely loads, Paula.
Wow.
So I do have to apologise if we don't get round to you. We are doing our best here, but equally I know you want to see what Paula wants to show you. So Shobha's come back and she says she's from Mumbai in India.
Oh, right. Fantastic.
And Sita Reddy says hello. Enzo sends you a thumbs up.
Oh.
And then we come back to the UK. Deirdre Perry says hello from Canvey Island.
Oh, very, very back to the UK there.
Okay. So
That's great. Thank you, Pat. So while Pat was just doing that, I have this ready coated so you don't have to see all of that prep again. And this is for Larry the Lamb. There he is. So we're just going to... Well, what I did was I did exactly the same thing that we did for the cow. So nice round underneath, black paste going on over the top there. And I'm now just going to add in the mouth across there. So there we go. And I'm just going to use the circle cutter just to push into there. So he's kind of got a nice base area. There you go. So that's going in there. And then he's got like this little Y section. So I'm just going to push that in using the end of the comb tool. So just push in there. And push in there as well. You can go quite nicely deep. And then I just used a brush just to kind of smooth out what are the little kind of ridges in there. So that's why I needed to make sure that it was nice and wet paste that we were working on. So that just takes those out nicely and it gives you that nice kind of little nose shape as well. Now for his eyes, I've deliberately done one large and then one small, so they kind of look a little bit like kind of way, because he is a little lamb, remember, and he's been bouncing around the field. At the moment, all the little lambs are out around the corner here, and it's adorable being able to watch them because they do look really cute as you're driving away. You kind of see them and they just kind of, they go into nursery mode almost, kind of like running around together. And it is really lovely to see. So I'm just going to do not half, but one large, one small. And I've also used a little cloud poppet on there, and I keep trying to reuse those for different things because it's just a really useful little poppet, and it just works really well if you're kind of thinking sheep, to be absolutely honest. So we've got one large, one small, and I'm just going to push into the centre, or kind of just off centre of both of those, and just drop in a little tiny bit of black paste into there. So you can either do cut out circles for the eyes, or you can just roll the balls and then drop the centres in that way round. And depending on which little cupcake you're looking at, we've kind of used a selection of those. So it's very much up to you what sort of eyeballs you want to give the little animals that you're kind of creating and making. And don't forget, it'd be really nice as well to see some of the things that you've kind of created and made. So if you come up with different animals, it would be really lovely to see some of your little creations that you've been up to and busy with too. There we go. A little bit of paste rolling away there. So I'm just going to turn him round while I attach the eyes on. So put them close in together. There they go. Give them a little push down. So that's our little googly eyes going on there. And then we're just going to add in some kind of sheepy fur around the outside edge there. And I'm just going to use some white sugar paste to do that, and I'm going to use an impression mat just to kind of give it a bit more of a texture. And it's the swirl one as well, so it's got that nice kind of loopiness around it. Loopiness for Larry the Lamb. Sounds good. Peter's grinning away, he's thinking, oh dear. So just roll that into a sausage, quite long, and just check that it's going to fit round quite nicely. So I'm just going to turn him round, have a little look. So I want it to go quite a long way round, and it's just going to sit on the back of the cupcake. There we go. Now you can use your smoother if you want, just to kind of make sure it's kind of what it's meant to be, which is smooth. And then just bring in your mat. So that's your texture mat. There we go, flexible friend. And you can just roll it along just to give you that impression into it. And a little bit of glue again, just across that, will do the job. So I'm just going to turn it around that way where there's a bit less going on. And bring in our sheep and just attach right the way round. There we go. Give it a little squeeze at the bottom. It can sit around the base if you want it to. Actually, I think it's going to sit a little bit better around there, and that gives us a little bit of room for the ears to go on as well. They're just black sugar paste, and I've used a little oval cutter. Well, it's actually a large oval cutter, which is just down here, and Peter can show you that. And that just gives us a nice shape. So I'll just roll that out quickly. I'll keep it quite thick as well, not too thin, because it is only sugar paste that we're using. And that will give us a nice firm amount of paste to work with. There we go. So just pop that straight out. Same thing again over there. There we go. Give it another little push and job done. So you can kind of see it gives us a really nice kind of shape for our little ears. So just give them a little pinch at the end, like so. I'm just going to flip him round again towards me just to add in the little ears, which I'm going to flip the other way round and then just attach. So they're kind of off to the side, kind of looking sheepy. There we go. Same thing the other side too. So he looks a bit surprised and a little bit shocked. There he is. And then we're going to add in a little tongue as well. So I've got some paste already rolled out ready. And again, that's the same oval cutter again, and just cut down to size. So I've got a little bit of kind of cling film mark on there. And I'll just cut a little bit of that so you can go however far, halfway if that's what you want to do. And just down the centre, so it's got a little bit of a groove. And so a bit more glue, and you can just add that in at the side. A little tongue sticking out, so drop that in. Make sure it's there, and then just dangle that over the edge. There we go. And then we're on to the little cloud poppet. Now this kind of is part of that rainbow set. So you can see kind of that matches really nicely with the rainbow. So we're just going to do that little cloud to go with that. And you can see it kind of makes it look, it really works for a sheep, I think, the cloud. So again, nice amount of gum paste, quick roll over, and then make sure you've got your nice side down. One way towards Peter and then back towards myself, and that gives you your little cloud. And then in with the scriber, and that just lifts out to give you your lovely little poppet. And then we're just going to stick that on to our little sheep. Just going to add some glue. Flip it over, tidy it up a little bit if you need to, because I'm kind of rushing through. Stick that onto the front. I think the cloud actually really kind of does it for the little sheep. Oh, my gluing's come apart there, but that's him. Our Larry the lamb sitting there ready. So that's him. And then we're moving on to the monkey. So Pauline's poised and ready and waiting over there for the next instruction. And Pat's just coming over now. She's wandering along.
Wandering along. Yeah.
She's got more shout outs.
I have, and I think you've got a bit of a fan club going on out here,
we?
Paula.
Oh, sorry, Pauline, I've forgotten the. There we go.
Okay. So I'll keep talking while you sort of
Okay. Yeah, that's
get
great.
where you need to be.
Yep,
so
lovely.
we start with Jennifer Preston, and she says,
hello, Jennifer. Yes.
she's hi from Weston-super-Mare, and
Hello.
sends you a big smiley face.
That's lovely. Good to see you and hear you.
And then Kieran says, but let's start with the C.
Oh, a different Kieran.
Yes.
Not Kieran.
No.
Okay.
Says, hi, please shout out from the Philippines.
Oh, for the Philippines. Yay, Philippines.
And then Sydney Shisby says, I make toppers in South Africa. Love watching you. You're such a professional. One day when I'm big, I hope to be as good as you.
Oh, isn't that lovely? Oh.
And then Sita Reddy says, hi, from South Africa. Thank you for sharing this video. I mean, Just tell me when to stop.
No, you're fine. While you're doing that, and then we can come back to you, I've actually got the monkey kind of pre-done. I just didn't do a central kind of bump. I just lowered it a little bit to look more monkey-fied. And then I've got the paste ready to go. So I'm just going to use this cutter to kind of give us that monkey look, which I'm going to do while Pat carries on, just so as you know. Okay, there we go.
I've also got a question for you in a moment.
Right.
Okay,
Yep.
hold on, I need to find out where I was. Ethel Troy says hello, recalling the days when I was learning in Enfield.
Oh, wow. That must be one of our students
It
then.
must
Yes,
be.
that's lovely. Good to hear.
It's a real fan club going on here.
That's great. Well, PME is very popular, Pat. PME is very popular.
Tasneem Latif says she's watching from Zimbabwe.
Sounds good.
Tanya says hi from Canada. But can I jump in with this question? Because I think it's kind of important.
Yep. No, that's fine.
The question actually came in Spanish, but they have sent it down to me in English.
Translated. That's Olivia, isn't it?
So it's from Magnolia Torres.
Right.
And they're asking, how long does fondant last, i.e. sugar paste?
Right.
Do you keep it in and out of the fridge? How long to shop bought fondant lasts? Basically
All about
sugar paste and
sugar paste
fondant.
and rolled fondant. Well,
Okay.
I mean, and it does vary because number one, it depends on the make of sugar paste. It depends on where you're living in the world because obviously different humidities, different temperatures, so it can vary. And certainly once it's opened, all sugar paste will begin to deteriorate if you don't store it correctly. So you always need to make sure that you've kind of got it neatly airtight so that it can be kept properly. I sometimes freeze sugar paste once it's opened if I know I won't need to use it for a little bit of time. Make sure it's in a good food safe bag that's strong, and that should be okay for a good 2 to 3 months in the freezer, sometimes longer depending on what you want to do with it. Obviously make sure that you're within your date still as it needs to be, but certainly, you know, always make sure it's airtight. If you it can sweat sometimes as well, so make sure that you kind of take it out of the bag if you're not using it in a few days, give it a knead and pop it back in again. That's always a good thing to do because it depends on the type of bag that you're actually storing it in too. So with sugar paste or rolled fondant, you can keep it in the fridge, and again, depending on what part of the world you're in, sometimes it does pay to pop it in the fridge for a little bit, especially if it's got really, really hot. Then knead it and work with it. Sometimes it is a little bit easier. But again, it does depend on the make and the texture because they're all made differently. Some have more gum in, some has less gum. So it is very much a kind of a mixture with that. But I've always said to everybody, whoever asks questions, don't be afraid to experiment because different sugar paste will react differently having done different things to it. Depends on your hands as well because that affects what you're working with. We quite often have students that have super hot hands and they get really, really sweaty. They have to wear gloves to work with the fondant sometimes or the sugar paste because they're just sticking to it. So they put gloves on and then that makes life a lot easier sometimes too. And some people have very dry hands that are very cool. So quite often that can make the fondant crack as well because they can't seem to warm it up or get it to do the work it needs to. So it's a bit of a mixture, but hopefully there's a bit of information in there that might kind of give you some hints and tips on what to do with it. Hopefully, I think that was answering the question, wasn't it, Pat?
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, no, that's good then. Okay, lovely. Hopefully that helps. Okay, so we've just added in, using that little kind of cookie cutter again, a little bit of a definition on the monkey. And this is the thing that we did as well for the little pigs. We've just glued in some little eyes so you can kind of see there. Made some little Yep. Oh, sorry, Peter. Yes, I've got him turned the wrong way. There you go. Do turn him round. As long as you can see him, that's the most important thing. There we go. So I've just done 1, 2 and 3, and that's going to be his little eyes going on there. A little bit of glue, probably using too big a brush. But as always, I just kind of grab what I see. So his nose is a slightly bigger pearl, so that's just some black pearls going in. There we go. And for his eyes, just some small pearls. So again, you don't have to spend a lot of time putting the eyes together. You can just push some pearls in, which might be what you want to do. A little bit of leftover paste can be used in the ears as well, if that's what you want to do. So again, just give that a little roll around, and just a little ball of paste And again, I'm just using some sugar paste for the little monkey because he doesn't need to kind of be too fun. If you want to do modelling paste, that's absolutely fine. Don't feel you can't do what you want to do with it. So it's a little bit big, so let's take that down a bit. Again, make sure everything's kind of kneaded as it needs to be. Just divide that in half, so that will give you your 2 ears into a little ball. Same thing again the other side. Just give it a little push down so it's slightly flattened. There we go. Still okay, Peter? Perfect. Great, that sounds good then. Do I look like I'm cooling down a little bit yet? No. And we can't turn the aircon up anymore at all for the simple reason that everything will just blow away off the surface. So what I'm going to do, I think that's a little bit big, so I'm just going to chop that in half and get a better size and then drop that in. There we go, so that's our 2-tone ear. Same thing the other side, give it a little push just to smooth it in so it's the same sort of size and shaping. And then we should be able to attach those onto our little monkey. So I'm just going to flatten off a little bit to give us our shape. Each side, a little bit of glue again, just across the side. So if we keep them to the side, it should look more monkey-fied. There we go. And at the moment, I think he looks quite bear-like, actually, to be honest. So you could be thinking about a little bear. Everybody's thinking it's a strange-looking bear. I've not seen one that looks like that before. So again, I'm just going to use a little bit of that leftover paste, a little couple of eyebrows on there as well for him. So just roll those into a little teardrop section. That one will do there too. And again, like so. And they're just going to go just across the top. There we are. Place them in there. There we go, they're going to sit upwards, so he's got slightly different eyebrows to his friend. We haven't named the monkey either at the moment, just so as you know. No name for our monkey. I don't know. Mischievous monkey. Mischief, that's quite a good name for a little monkey, isn't it? And when you're doing this for your children, maybe they're little monkeys and you're thinking they're little mischievous things, so they're going to have little monkey cupcakes. But we've also got little pigs up there as well, and we've got a little tiger too. So we're not going to be able to do all of these as demonstrations, but I think Pauline's going to maybe just bring a couple of those along so you can kind of get an idea and you can see what we've kind of been doing. And I'm just going to take the end off that. I've just used a leaf plunger just to kind of create a little bit of hair just on the top up there. Kind of just gives it a nice shape. So I've got a little tiger headed in. So when it comes to the tail, on our little monkey over here, we kind of wrapped it around. But what you could do when you're kind of doing the little tail is leave it to dry and just add in one of your these ones are actually food safe plastic wires. So I've just popped one of those in with a view to being able to place that in the back here when it comes to it. So you can see this one, we've just wrapped it round, and this one is just going to kind of sit into the back there. So I'm just going to make a little bit of a hole in there first so it goes through the foil all okay. And that's what we also did over here just with our little tiger. So he had kind of like the same sort of eyes as Daisy the cow, added the impression mat there for the tiger, and that's just kind of given him a bit more of a definition there as well. There we go. So that should then just sit in to the back all okay. So that kind of gives us our little monkey. You can secure that in there. So he's got a nice long tail. There we go. So that's the cupcakes. So at the moment, we're going to move along here. Pat's got some more shout outs as well. So that's quite a good time to be headed in. And I think Pauline's kind of tidying up some of our things as well. I've made quite a mess up here, I've just realised. Sorry. So we'll pack our shout-outs. We're now moving along this way towards our moon and our bear. And actually, while I'm kind of over this way doing that, Pauline is then also going to start getting ready for some ice cream cornets that we're going to be doing a little bit later on. So if you hear anything going on in the background, that's just us moving some things around. So don't be alarmed, there's nothing going wrong. Go for it, Pat.
You okay?
Yes, yeah,
right,
absolutely
perfect.
perfect.
So they just keep coming today.
That's really good. Obviously, everybody's tuned in today.
They are, yeah, and very interactive, which is
That's great.
fantastic.
It is lovely.
Maria Christina says hi, Paula.
Hello.
And Carla Otero says good morning from Nicaragua.
Oh, wow. Some very exotic sounding
Aren't
places.
they just?
Yes,
Aren't
very
they
much
just?
so, yes.
And we're coming back to the UK with Karen Ackland. She says hi from Lincolnshire.
Oh, Lincolnshire.
These cows are amazing. it tells you how long this list has been building up. And she says you're a lovely big heart.
Oh, that's great. We're sending them all back as well.
Alberto says hi, I'm here in Bahrain.
Wow.
I can keep going, you just tell me when to stop.
Oh, whatever works, Pat, honestly. Also, I'll just let everybody know, I'm just rolling out some paste here at the moment in yellow, and I'm just going to show you how to do the moon. So you can either leave it straight on the edge, or you can have it nice and rounded with some cling film that's just blowing away over here. So that's what we're going to be doing at the moment. So as you're doing shout outs, I can be working on that if you like.
Okay. Letitia says cool and sends you a smiley face, and she's watching from Belgium. Diana Grady says hi from Trenton, and that's Ontario in Canada.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And Neva says hello from the Philippines, big smiley face. And then we're off to South Africa with a big smiley face, actually two big smiley faces, from Lizelle. Angelica says hi from Mexico. Christine says, Christine Michael says hi, and I'm going to finish on one that you definitely know, and it's from Abergavenny, and he says, you're looking good, Paula, and it's our dear friend Tony Warren.
Hello, Tony, how are you? It's good to know you tuned in. Thanks everybody for watching. It's really, really good to know that you are kind of like supporting, and we are sending all that love back to you as well, because we absolutely love the fact that you're kind of tuning in and that you're kind of interested in what we want to share with you, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So we've rolled out some paste. It's just sugar paste again, and I've got my little moons lined up here because that's going to have a little bear sitting in it shortly. So all I'm going to start off by doing is just to kind of line up where my moon is going to be. So that's going to be kind of around this section here. I'm going to pop some cling film over it, which, like I think I said, it started to just decide to blow away, but I think it's back under control again. And this will just give it a nice round effect. So I'm just going to push straight into it. I might get a few lines come up because my cling film started to go a bit line-like now. Give it a nice wiggle to kind of clean the edge a little bit. And I'm going to bring my moon in as well, just so that I've got a good idea where I then need to do my next cut, because I don't want it too far. I like a little bit of the biscuit to show, because I think it looks better that way. So then give it another little cut. And if we need to trim it up afterwards, then we can do that. So again, just give it another little wiggle. Give it a nice clean cut there as well. How are you getting on there, Pauline? She's just swapping everything over, ready for those very yummy ice cream cones. So I'm just going to flip that over, make sure it's nice and tidy, because we want a nice neat finish. So give it a little smooth round. So we've got a nice smooth moon. There we go. And then we can drop that in. Now we've got a little hole that we're going to need to make, but you can see it's got a nice kind of like rounded look as opposed to a sharp edge. So it doesn't really matter. It's either or that you want to do. Going okay, Pauline? Very quiet. Now I can sense concentration.
You haven't going to have enough room on this board.
Are you? Oh, don't worry. No, it's fine. If you want to, and if it's a bit easier, the little poppets can just go at the top on the table in front of the board, which might be a little bit easier maybe. Does that help?
It does.
Good. Okay, so there we go. So I think we're okay. I don't think I need to retrim anything onto there, but if you do need to retrim, you can just bring your cutter in and recut if that's what you want to do. So I'm going to find where that little hole is there, just on the back with the scriber. So flip it over briefly, just push that through, just so that I've got an idea where that hole is. Oh, is it really there? Oh, it is a little bit actually, yeah, a little bit off. And then just use a brush just to push in. I am going to check that. I think I kind of went a bit wonky. I've got a good idea it is there. Yeah, so I was a little bit out where I was checking that. Give it a little roundy wiggle, and that just gives us our little hole so that we can then thread through there our little buttons. So I won't go back through, but what I've done is obviously the button poppet, this was the little one. I've just glued it with some piping gel onto some strips of ribbon, and then I've threaded it through the moon. And just on the back, I didn't do a knot, I just secured it with a little bit of paste, just smoothed it down then so that that holds those ribbons in place so that the bear can then hold all of those a little bit later on. So that's our little moon ready to go. And I'm just going to bring in my little coated plaque again. I've just kind of made it look a bit starry in the background so that I've used the impression mat again, and the moon will just sit here and the bear will go in there and just catch the little button. So I'm going to put a little bit of gel just onto the back, and all I'm going to actually do, I'm not modelling the bear, I'm going to do a bit of cheating again, and I'm actually just going to use the gem poppet and just use the head basically in the hand, because then if you don't want to do modelling, it makes life nice and easy for you. And being busy people, you may very well want to do that. So you can position your moon as you want to. Move that one to there. And again, Peter can always show you if you need to see the little moon up there as well, if you need to see it with the bear in it. Peter's like, I got the hint. So he's just moved over to the bear to show you. And he can come back to me, you see. Okay, so just got some paste here. So this is gum paste that I'm working with again, and I don't need all of this. I've just got some paste ready here, which has gone a little bit sticky if I'm honest, because it is quite hot up here. But that's fine, because you want this to be quite sticky, the paste, so that it kind of attaches as it needs to onto the gum paste here. There we go. A little bit dull, my hands are getting a little bit grubby as we're kind of going through. I am just going to knead this back up a little bit because it needs to be all good, and it's gone a little bit tighter sitting in the bag there. I think Pauline's all done. That's looking fine. Yeah, so Pauline's ready for the ice cream section down over there. It's looking good. The ice cream's going to be very good fun. So again, keep the messy bit uppermost. Just make sure that it is actually thick enough for you. I hope that is. Kind of saying to myself, I don't think that it is. I only need the head section, but I will just go over all of him just so that we've gone through it. And then I'm just going to cut him up, which sounds terrible, doesn't it, to do to a little bear? But that's what we're actually going to do. Give it a little push, make sure his nose is where it needs to be. And give a little push on the little puddies, just so that you've kind of got the little imprints on there as well. And then just give it a little pull with the ear and that section there as well. And the feet, give that a little push as well and a pull. And we should be able to pull him out all okay. So that's got his little face. I have gone a little bit too much with the paste, so it's just seeped over just a little bit, but that's not a problem. And what I'm going to do is just open out his mouth a little bit, and I'd leave it to dry because then it's easier to work around. But as you can see, I've just kind of opened up his mouth just a little tiny bit with a fine paintbrush. So Peter, hopefully you can see. You'll have to yell if you can't. So I'm just kind of going along where we've already got that line, and it just kind of pull it down, and that just kind of opens out his features a little bit. So he just looks, he's a bit more smiley and a little bit more 2D, 3D. On his eyes, I've just used a pen. You can use paste if you prefer, but just to colour them in black so that they're kind of a bit more noticeable. And the pen goes on, it's the brush end I'm using, so you can use it straight on to your paste, no problem. Oh dear, look, I've just caught him, but not to worry. Rewind, Peter, you didn't see that bit. Oh, more shout outs. Just gave me a quick nod. Look at Pat. I have a terrible tendency to not notice Pat with her boards after a while. Sorry.
These still relate to the cupcakes because we're still kind of catching up.
Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow.
Okay. So Ray says, hi, Paula, sitting in my armchair. You're doing a great job. And he sent you some kisses.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you.
Nancy sent you some waves. Nurella, or Nirella, thumbs up. Rogella says that she loves it. And Marvin says hi from St. Lucia. These are beautiful. And Sarah says hi from Milan, so nice.
Oh, that's really good. Well, I
And
don't.
I have more when you're
Oh
ready.
my goodness. Well, I don't think my bear's so lovely because I've not done a fantastic job. He's not as good as this one is here, so maybe Peter wants to focus on that one. Thank you. What I'm actually going to do though is I'm going to take his paw off, because this little paw is going to be reaching for the little moon buttons. So I'm just going to take that section off there. And again, leave that to dry, because then that just makes it easier to stick in. And then just cut a V for his little head, just to take that section off there. And then leave it, and then that's ready to stick into the kind of little pyjamas that we're going to do. So I'm going to leave him there. But you get the gist and how we're kind of doing it. So it's a bit of a cheat, but it can make life a lot easier, especially if you've got more than one to do and you don't want to be doing an awful lot of modelling. So I've got these ready here, so you can just see how we've put together what is a very, very simple little bear in pyjamas. So he was in blue, and this is going to be in the pink for a little girl as well. So we've got one boy and one little girl. So this is just really nice, maybe for a first birthday, even that type of thing, or for a little baby as well. So again, lots of different ideas hopefully going on here for you. So just roll into a sausage, kind of a rectangle, and then just kind of pull up to make a bit of a collar around the top edge, and do the same thing at the bottom, and smooth that down as you go, just to get rid of any fingerprints that are in there. This is modelling paste, so I've just done 50-50 with sugar paste and with gum paste, but you can use whatever you want to. And then I'm going to use a pair of scissors just to cut what would be a little collar, so just in the middle, like so. So you can open that out while that's still wet, but you can kind of then see, you can start to kind of bring it up a little bit and bend those bits down. I'm going to use a cutting wheel just to kind of create the middle, and then just a star cone tool just to create some little buttons. So again, you could go either side if you want to, change it up a little bit, make it a bit more interesting if that's what you want to do. And then you can start to attach it onto your plaque or onto the top of your cake. And if you really wanted to, you could maybe attach the biscuit onto a stick once it comes out of the oven, which is something we've done in the past, and then you could push it straight into your cake once everything is nicely dried as well. So that's another option that you could choose to do. So a little bit of glue just kind of coming in along the moon, and I'm just going to place that there like so, and going to add in some legs. So again, that sort of size, I think it's maybe a large grape size, I'm not too sure. I'm afraid I've eaten my grapes, so I couldn't bring a grape down to compare it with. So again, just roll that out, chop that in half, there we go. And then just create a little bit of a cone shape for the legs. Again, it's all very simple, very basic. If you really wanted to, you could maybe cut off these little paws and add them in at the bottom as well. I didn't do that, but you could if you wanted to. Same thing with the other one, into a ball and then into a little bit of a cone shape, so they're thinner at one end. And then just flatten out for the base, like so, on the work surface. Elongate them a little bit more, I think. And then they're just going to be twisting, so we're going to have one little leg there inside. Sorry, Peter, can you see all okay?
I'm good.
And then, oh, Peter's good. That's good then. It's all good. Peter's good. There we go. So just kind of a little kick upwards there for our little bear in pink. There we go. And then we can look at adding in the arms as well. Similar sort of size, maybe a little tiny bit smaller as well. I think Pat's, yeah? Anytime, yeah. Pat's going to come over because I'm going to do basically a repeat for the arms, so that's the same thing. A little bit less paste and a little bit thinner and skinnier so they can go behind the head. So Pat's going to chat while I'm doing that, okay? So we can get all your shout-outs in because you've bothered to come and see us, so it's nice for us to try to get in as many as we can.
So we're really trying hard to get them all in today.
This is incredible. This is really good.
So we start in Toronto.
Wow.
And that's Charmin, and she says hello. and sends you big smiley faces, lots of hearts.
Wow.
Sandy Lee says cute. And Maritza says hello, love from Cape Town.
Oh, wow, my goodness.
Shalene says hello from Mexico, sends you big smiley faces and says nice job.
Thank you.
Catherine says hello from Peru.
Good grief.
And Talana says hi there again from Elizabeth. And Bibano says hi from Colombia.
Wow. Certainly going everywhere.
We are.
That's quite incredible.
It's quite amazing.
That isn't it? So I've got my arms ready. I'm going to use my dried head, and I'm just going to quickly do the hat. So similar sort of size, but you're really kind of tuning in from absolutely everywhere, which is incredible. Certainly been travelling the world this time back, haven't we?
We have indeed.
Yeah. So just roll that into a ball. And then just create a little bit of a cone shape. Again, it's always a ball to a sausage in a cone shape. Open it out a little bit. Flatten it down on the work surface, which will kind of help you with your shape, because you don't want it too 3D. And then just smooth as you go. That will help get rid of any marks that are in there. There you go. And then just pinch it so it's out and open just a little bit more. And then we're going to just pop the head into there. There we go. Just make it a little bit longer. There we go. Because that's going to actually just bend along there in a second. That's the little hat. There we go. So I'm just going to push the head in. So our little bear's just there. In at the back, there we go, just over that little ear. I've got a little bit of white that will be going on there in a second, so that will just come across that edge there. And then we're just going to have the arms, which are going to tuck in and just around the back. So where we're bending there, if it looks like it's kind of needing it, just give it a little wiggle just to elongate it so it bends just a little bit easier in and around the back. There we go. And this one is just going to sit in at the back there, and it's going to be reaching for the buttons. So this is the dried paw that I want. I'm going to put a little bit of glue just onto the end of it. I think I've picked up a wrong brush there because I've got all sorts of colour going on. So just push that in, give it a little wiggle as you go. There we are. You can always attach it in beforehand, which is probably what I should have done. And then they're just holding on to that little bit of a button there as well. There we go. So a little bit of white, and pretty much our bear is where it needs to be then. So again, gum paste or modelling paste, absolutely fine. Pat's got more shout outs. You're still with us and you're still wanting to hear from us with lots of shout outs, which is brilliant. So we try not to ignore anybody, which is really great, isn't it? It's lovely.
So you okay for me to go?
You go for it, Pat. I'm just attaching a little bit of trim. That's where I'm at now.
So we start in Germany with a big hello from Jens.
Oh.
And then Louise Sackman-Ditch says hello from West Sussex. She says she's really enjoying the demonstration. Big smiley faces and kisses.
Oh, that's so nice.
Mercedes says hola from Italy. Vicky Clark.
Yes.
Vicky Clark says hello from Perth in Australia.
Oh wow, Australia.
And is sending you kisses. Angelica Flores says hola from Mexico. And then I've got another Angelica Marin says hi, and Isabel says hi from Johannesburg, and she sends you a lovely big red rose.
Oh, isn't that really nice? Oh, I don't think we've had a red rose before. So that's lovely. Thank you. Pat's doing very well reading out all of those. I think someone's going to need a cup of tea. A little bit just onto the end, just so we've got a little bit of a ball. You could make a little hole in that so it sits there nicely, but I think that kind of gives us a bit of a gist of where we're at, holding onto the button there, and just a little bit of a kick going on there for our little bear. So leave all of that to dry, and like I say, if you want to put the other paw in there, you can do. You don't have to. It can just be kind of out the way underneath the hat. There you go. So that's our little bear, a little bit of modelling, a bit of cheating modelling going on there as well with the biscuit. And then we're going to move down to, which is really exciting, which we all think is a really good idea, which is the ice creams. So we're going to take those down there. As I move down here, Pauline's going to come along and scoop up the ice creams. But I think with the time of year we're coming into, to be able to maybe, instead of doing a cup or a cupcake or an actual full-on cake, to think, do you know what, I'm going to do some ice creams, but I'm not going to put ice cream in them, I'm going to do something else with them, then I think that's really different and just really unique and just makes a total change. Am I walking slow enough, Peter, for you? Okay, thanks, Pauline. Okay, and then that gives you the chance to just kind of home in there, Peter, as well, don't you? So we've got our little cupcake, not cupcakes, no, we've moved on from cupcakes. We've got our cones, so that's what we're going to be looking at. And you can see we've kind of actually used some of the poppets so that they're kind of all spraying out the top there. So this is where you can chop and change it. So you can either have it as a baby shower or for a little one's birthday, just for the little tots, or whatever event that you're kind of looking for to kind of keep the little ones really, really happy. So what have we got? We've got some candy on the go, which we've been giving a stir every now and then. I've actually had this on pretty much since first thing this morning, just on a number 1. Really handy, it just keeps it at that really good optimum temperature that we always want candy to be kept at. And I've got some cones started just over here. Now the cone that I'm actually going to be using are what we call waffle cones. I'm not sure what everybody calls them across the world, or if it's that a general thing, I'm not too sure. As opposed to a wafer. As you can see, there's not a lot of room in the wafer cone, but there is in the waffle, and they're not very good for dipping in the same way. So I think if you're kind of thinking about buying a cone, try to make sure you get your waffle cone, so you can get plenty in there, extra cake and buttercream and candy and stuff in there. So that's what we always want. There's lots of filling going on in there. So I've also decorated up 1 or 2 here. So I'm just going to run through. I might be using the pink, I think, because then we can kind of get a good idea what we're doing. So all we're doing to start off with is we're just doing a bit of dipping and a bit of dunking with the cones, which is always a bit of fun. And this is also something that little children are going to absolutely love to get involved in. So just dip the end, so you get some candy onto the end there. Just give it a little shake, so that's off there. And then as you dunk it into here, that will kind of help it set anyway. So give it a little wiggle. There we go, all the way around. And then you can dip the top end, so that goes straight in as well. There we go. Give that a little drip, turn it up, and there we go. And maybe it'll just ooze down the outside there as well. Back into your sprinkles, so I'm just actually using those. I'm going to add in a little bit more. So your nonpareils, your hundreds and thousands, or whatever is your favourite that you're tending to use. Give them a little dip, and that just then gives you this lovely little coating all the way around your cone. And then just leave that to set for a few minutes, and then you're kind of ready to move on with that. Now what I've got again is a cupcake, so that's kind of chopped up already, most of it. So you can just break it up or cut it up, or use leftover cake. You could actually have a chocolate bar in here, a Mars bar, or whatever it is, your children's favourite chocolate bars, or your favourite chocolate bar, chopped up and placed into there. And also inside there, we could also maybe, I'll go with this one. Oh, I nearly took the end off. We could just pour in a little bit of candy as well, so it's nice, kind of like going in there, nice little, all down the outside edge perhaps too, which is good. Oh, flip that round into there. And then you can sprinkle in a little bit of the cake crumb that you've got going on in there. And if you want to kind of make sure that it's in there well and good, you can give it a little push down, just so that you can actually then pack in a little bit more into the cone. And we've just kind of utilised, it was Pat's idea actually with the piping stand there, but it just seems to have served a very good purpose. So if we go pink, because it's nice and bright and we haven't done too much girly stuff, any of your favourite tubes going in there to give it a nice swirl round. Add in a little bit more cake if you want to, or a few sprinkles going in onto there. A little bit more cake. Pour in a little bit of candy over there if you want to. Yeah, let's pour in a bit more candy. I've got candy everywhere now. Just going to trickle a bit in there because that'll set and that'll be really nice. Bit of crunch in with the chocolate as well. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, I wonder who gets to eat these afterwards. Yeah, it could be me. Pat saying, no, it's not going to be you. And then I'm just going to add in a bit more of a colour, just to kind of give it a little bit of a kind of a look going on there, just coming round. Nice if a bit of chocolate comes up out from there, I think. And then I've got some fudge pieces as well, and I love fudge because I'll be eating this one, so that's going on there as well. And I've got some meringue bits, and I really like them too, so that's going on there as well. And then just push them in if that's what you want to do. And then this is where, if you've got some poppets ready, you can then just push them into here and have like a spray. We've got over here like a full-on spray going on, coming out of here. And we've actually used the clouds again, and I think they're kind of looking like really simple cars, to be honest. I've put an eye on there. Use the buttons again to look like some wheels. I don't know if Peter agrees with this, he's smiling away, but we all think they look like those nice little kiddie cars that you get that are just absolutely fantastic. Now, if you've got some spare poppets that you've made and you're thinking, oh, well, I can't put them onto my plastic wires anymore, what you can actually do is just roll a little piece of paste onto the back there and just thread your wire in, so then you can stick them in. So that's not a problem at all. We've got some more shout outs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start decorating into here and push those bits and pieces in as Pat comes along with some more shout outs. Yay! I think my wheels are going to fall off, Pat, though. There we go.
I was just hoping to squeeze these in before you finish, Anya. I know
then.
you're almost there.
Yeah, we're nearly there. Nearly time for me to eat this.
No.
Yeah.
So Nikki says hello from Cyprus and sends you a big smiley face and a lovely heart. Carmelita says hello from the Philippines. Gail Ann Dinkle says hi, and she's in Pennsylvania, USA. Pauline Engelbertink says hello from the Netherlands, and Anna Marie Marchant Hernandez from Ecuador says hi, and Tamara Aki says how cute, we love the poppet moulds at kitchenjukebox.com. So I think there's a little company sneaking in there.
Yeah, that's good. You know where to go.
And Nalia, I think Nalia's just saying hi. Leslie Hoyle says she's taking a break from decorating her granddaughter's 18th birthday cake just to watch you.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
And she sent you a big smiley face.
Oh, lots of love coming back as well. Appreciate that, because you've got a lot of work to do from the sounds of it. Although you'll have
good
fun
luck
at the same
with the
time.
cake.
Yes, hope it all goes really well. So I think that's us pretty much wrapped up and finished, to be honest, isn't it? What can we say? It's been absolutely fantastic for you to join us, and we've loved every minute that you've been with us. It really has been awesome. And we love it when you get in touch with us so that we can do lots of shout outs. It keeps Pat busy, which is fantastic. And it just means to say that everything we're doing, you're obviously kind of enjoying it. And that's what we always try to do, to make sure that you have some useful, good, fun tips and hints along the way. And hopefully a little bit of inspiration and some ideas to kind of help keep you going. So again, any pictures you've got that you want to send in, it's always great, I think, to see maybe what you've been up to and what you've been working with. So from everybody here at PME, upstairs, downstairs, oh, that's a bit of a show, wasn't it? Thank you so much for joining us, and up until next time, which we're also looking forward to already, because we've already got some ideas for that one. It's going to be awesome as well. So just thank you and enjoy. Have some fun. Thank you.